In our society, everybody talks about being rational, that you should be rational, you should use your brain. Using your mind is so important in some practical matters. So, rationality is valued extremely highly. I also have a book by Steven Pinker, and the title is Rationality. I haven't studied this book, but you can imagine that rationality is extremely, you know, popular subject in our society, and everybody, I believe, is in love with rationality. Everybody wants to be rational. The more rational they are, they think, the more, successful they will be in their lives, the more, benefits they will gain from this rational state. So now I will use Dostoevskian argument here. So Dostoevsky says that rationality is as important as irrationality. So he says that rationality satisfies only the rational part of our faculty, but there is another element also, which is irrationality, and irrationality satisfies the irrational need of mankind, of man. Man is an extremely, mystical creature. The mind, the brain hasn't, hasn't been studied, in detail so far. There are still some elements of mind or brain that are still needed to be studied in full detail to understand the complete picture of our mind. So there are some elements, some forces in our mind or in our soul, I'm not sure about that, but there definitely exist an irrational side in man, and that irrational side is as dominant in man as rational side. A man who is just rational cannot be a complete man. In order to be a complete man, he has to do something irrational. It can be anything, whether he will display that irrationality publicly, that, that is not a point, but personally, privately, or away from the public, that man will do something irrational in order to balance irrationality. So just believe that, just, try to think from this perspective, that rationality is 50%, irrationality is 50%, so the combined is 100%, right? So, and this will always be in balance. If someone is more rational than irrational, then they develop some kind of, some kind of issue, some kind of problem, and that is 100% true. Maybe it can be proved by some, fMRI scan, or some other, newly medicine tools, or some new inventions. It can be proved, or it cannot be, but this fact cannot be negated, that both these forces are always at struggle, because rationality wants to get some share of irrationality. On the other hand, irrationality wants to be on the domain of rationality. So that is the constant struggle, and this struggle applies everywhere in each segment of our life. So every second, as we are living and we are dying at the same time, so there is a balance of forces. And the and like, I can give you one example, but no, I will not give you this example at this point, because I don't think society is prepared, or I think I'm not prepared for that. But like, I don't want to, say something that could become a reason for, something problematic. So no, we will not talk about that anymore. So the main point is, irrationality is as important as rationality, and now you have to figure out or understand what it means and how you are irrational in your life. If you start observing your everyday behavior and how you went especially, then you will understand what's the value of irrationality, and maybe you will start giving more value to irrationality. That's what I believe.